Hey guys, what's going on? Yes, you're watching a black screen right now because of the way that XSplit's been lately. We're gonna do some more Dungeon Defenders. I haven't done this in a long time, but I did. Okay, that means it's actually being. I usually have the music like completely turned off when I play. We're gonna go over some of this again since that was back in its very brand new stages. I mean, I've played a fair bit since then. We're just gonna do a private match. There's basically 3 stages to the game. There's pre-74. Actually, there's only 2 stages. There's pre-74, where you're doing easy, medium, hard, insane, any of these. But then there's Nightmare, and Nightmare's special because it's really freaking difficult. It's the most difficult of all the difficulties right now. I say right now because it used to top out at insane. So we don't know where it's going to go next. The map I did last time was Magus Quarters. We're going to go there again. This is a good map to farm stuff on. Try how noisy my guy was. Alright, we need to turn down the special effects for a bit. It gets really loud. Trust me. So, this map is, as per the official description, this is where the Magus lives and does his research. Where does he live? Where does he sleep? I don't know. This is supposedly where he is. Yeah, I just see a bunch of tables, bookshelves. I never saw any beds or anything that looked like it could serve as a bed aside from a table. That's not a very comfortable bed. So the big thing about Nightmare mode is there's 2 special types of mobs so far. There's going to be 2 more in the coming months. But so far we have the Djinn, of which there are 2 spawning. You see that in the center, right about here. The Djinn, there are 2 spawning in this wave, and then there's 6 spiders. Spiders, oh, spiders. If you're not watching them, they will web you, which slows you down. You can't use any of your abilities. Your attacks are super slow. Or the web a tower, which, except for, obviously blockades and these bouncers, these are the only 2 things I know of that are immune to it. They pretty much get screwed. So we're going to put down a spike blockade. And because I have no more mana, I'm going to have to ready up. I can build no more for now. My little dragon here. I got this from playing survival mode on this map, actually. This is an insane survival pet. And yes, they're really freaking annoying like that. Stupid, stupid archers. The first of the ogres has arrived. I say first because, oh boy, they're a lot. If you notice, I have a ton of health. It's because you get a health boost on Insane. Your towers do more damage to kind of deal with the much higher health enemies that you're facing. That guy had like something like way too much health. And I mean, the basic concept's still there. You're still building towers. You are trying to defend your crystal. Nothing new there. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen. I don't know why that was shifted off to the side. That was kind of odd. The one thing that's similar in regard to this game mode and the last hardest, Insane, is that neither of them will heal your crystal if it takes damage. If that crystal takes damage, you are kind of SOL, which is shit out of luck. It's really not good. Not good at all for you. Now, the reason why Nightmare kind of exists is, people were, at this point, people were getting so used to Insane that it was kind of become easy. We had good gear, we had good strategies for it, and then the DLCs came. The first big DLC that was released, aside from all the holiday-themed ones, was called Quest for the Eternia Shards, Part 1. There's 4 parts to it. I have the complete pack. Now, this is the little selection menu in game. If we look at my... Whoa, those are fast. I do like this. If we look at this, we see my stats are just stupid high. Except not really. These are actually pretty low stats compared to most people. But we'll get into that. You suffer a 30% resistance deduction in this game mode. So I hope you have good resists. But mythical. This is the big, kind of the big reason this game mode exists. Oh wow, I need to level him up. That's the right thing. Mythic gear requires level 74. And it only appeared in the first DLC. Before the first DLC, or the quest for the Eternity Shards came out, the level cap was 70. It has now turned into 74, and then with the second release, which has happened, that is obviously going to be the quest of for the Lost Eternity Shards Part 2, which gave us Djinn. The first one gave us spiders. The next 2 will give us 2 new types of mobs. But each one has raised it by 4 so far. So we're expecting I'm expecting at least the final level, not requirement, but the highest level you can be, to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 82. I think sounds right. Now I'm just going to be building some harpoons around, because harpoons, to the best of my knowledge, yeah, this needs to be moved up a little, are actually the best. Oh, wow, still. No. Yeah, let's place this first, and we can use that as a guideline there. These are, excuse my dogs, these are the best towers to use in this game mode. And the reason for that is because they've got good range, they pierce through multiple enemies, and they do a lot of damage as it is. Now, the Djinn are really nasty because they have 2 special abilities. One allows them to buff their allies, the other enemies. You'll see this represented by the enemy turning gold when it actually happens. I faced a orc in the first wave. Oh, that was that way. I hate that ogre stuff. We call it boogers, but we don't know what it could be. Acid spit. We just don't know. But yeah. So we're gonna jump over here. Do more upgrades. And this is why I usually have the sound turned down really low. Is the sound of harpoons. We used to use bowling ball turrets, but then I realized, hey, wait a minute, these harpoons pierce through things. Can I not apply these in a better fashion to have more uses? Yeah, it turns out I can. Now, my weapon is really nothing special. I am still focusing on a more tower-oriented build, as opposed to really one of the standard or a DPS build, which like I do for my huntresses and such. Now, what this means is that instead of being able to do lots of damage just by myself, I have to summon in. Yeah, it's just Mythic's supposed to drop on this map, but they for some reason aren't. I'll show you what a map where Mythics do show up though, and it's pretty cool, honestly. Mythics are extremely strong. This is actually a mythic pet, and that's why it's got such great stats. It's still godly. I think we might see some more later on in the waves. Before I forget, though, we're gonna run back here to, this is called the Defender's Forge. We're gonna come to it, and we're gonna level up Serpico to do more damage. Look at that, it's gonna take 3 million to level him up again. Good lord. Those fast transitions, I do love those. Now, I'm upgrading the harpoons because, like I said, they're my damage source, really. Everything else is just there. The bouncers deal with spiders. They actually place it right on spiders, pretty close to at least, spider spawns. So that if a spider does spawn, which they, will, they get taken out pretty quickly. Now, I just have my, God, those harpoons are loud. Excuse me for turning this down again, but the harpoons are just getting loud and annoying. But now, like as I was saying, The harpoons are only covering, or the bouncers only cover inside this little area, because this is where we need to defend. The crystal, we want to keep from taking as much damage as possible. Unfortunately, due to archers being evil and annoying, we've got them already. Now, it used to be where you only fought one ogre at, like, in the later waves of the game on this map. Well, Nightmare takes that and throws that right out the window. You get one every wave. Every single wave, regardless of the difficulty. I could play easy, or I could play, or the map. I could play Nightmare easy, which makes no sense. I could play Nightmare on the easiest map, which is Deepest Well, and, you know, I would still fight an ogre the first wave. Whereas ogres didn't start showing up on the first wave until never. Not until this game mode. Not even in the hardest, like, actual campaign mission, as in one that was released with the game. The bonus map, Glitterhelm Caverns. Then you still had to wait until the second wave to get them. And of course, this is the last map in the campaign. So it's well, not the campaign, but it's the last map in the game. Mythic, nope. Godly's are good though. Still, God. Well, let me rephrase that. They're not very good for me anymore. Once you hit 74, you've got to get Mythic gear. The easiest way to do that is with Squire. Like I said, if I can make another video later showing an easy way to just run a whole bunch of Mythics, just for fun. You know, nothing special really required. If you've been through the ranks and everything, and you hit 74, you pretty much, and you have a Squire, you are geared for what you need to do. It really does not require much. And if you guys are interested in this gameplay, in this game, let me know. I will be more than happy to do like a playthrough with Ninja, from where you taking level 1 people, send them all the way through to the end of the campaign. It's fun. Sometimes it's quite painful, and you would get to see everything. Oh yes, the Djinn. That reminds me, I only described the one ability. The one ability that Djinn have. Also, they explode into mana. It's good. No, the other ability that Djinn have is that they can actually desummon your towers, and this is very big, because now you no longer have control over if your towers are going to survive or not. Okay, this is... I might actually be able to do survival on this map and get a new dragon. This is actually interesting. I've never tried doing it by myself. I've always tried it with Ninja in the game, so... You know, we will see. We'll see later. So, what we're doing now is we're just upgrading harpoons. That way we don't die. With the Djinn desummoning, though, there is one caveat. If you, the hero, or a hero I should say, because you could have multiple people in your game and you're all heroes. If a hero in your game, or its pet, familiar, whatever you want to call them, if they do enough damage to a Djinn, it will cancel its casting. Doesn't matter what it's doing. Towers do not count. Currently, the amount is 7.5% of their total health. So if they have, 400,000, or if they let's say we have 1 million, just make it a nice round number. You need to do 750,000 or 75,000 damage to make a visible mark on them, and it cause them to stop focusing. It doesn't sound like a lot, but in this game mode, your DPS falls dramatically. When in Blood Rage, which is this, it increases doubles my attack. My DPS is still far below what it would be normally. The damage I do with a single strike is 26,000 right there. Now it's a weak strike. Normally that strike will do over 100,000, so it really does hit your DPS hard. Make no mistake of that. So there is a huge difference between Nightmare and Insane, even, which is the next easiest difficulty. It's the second hardest, and it's typically the one that most people are going to be playing for a long time in the game. But the whole thing with it is kind of to get people geared and find better setups, because now the monsters are so much tougher. It allows them to really get more, think more. Now we're on the final wave, and oh, actually, yeah, that's a lot. Even with another person, we fight something like 30 ogres. This is crazy. I do enjoy this, but this explains why there's no mythics spawning yet. Mythics, I guess, don't spawn unless you have multiple people or you're doing survival. Or maybe they'll drop this wave from ogres, who knows. I just have not really tried, because I got my mythics another way. But so we're getting ready to finish. I'm gonna upgrade. I want to upgrade as many of my harpoons as I can, because they do all the damage to the ogres. I could charge in and do damage, but I just don't want to die. They do a lot of damage, and I have very low resist. I could hypothetically block them out, because God, that's just so fast. If you look at my sword, I have 149% blocking resist. Doesn't matter what kind of attack it is, I can just block it out. It is a fully leveled item, which is why it's got a custom name. That cost a lot of money, but guess what? These have the same use. Most of them are pretty upgraded, or upgradable. Unfortunately, it's not a full set, so I don't get. It's like a 33% bonus to all stats, which means I'd be even stronger. I just need to find fairly decent gear that's around the same. Die, die, die. Dijin are just annoying. Thankfully, in single player, the way they patched it right now, only 4 can be spawning at once. I think it's 6 with 2 people, and I don't know the exact number. See, that's a buffed up enemy. I'm glad he wasn't poison resistor, or else I never would have killed him. Look, just ogres have lots of health. Lots and lots of health. They get high health in survival as well. Insane. They hit this level, but with towers doing so much more DPS, it's just not fair. There, it's mostly you doing the damage to him, because your towers just don't keep up very well. So we're about to finish this. This is the last wave of non-survival mode. The difference is, survival mode you can go on until you lose your crystal. Here you go on until you finish the set number of waves that the developers over TrendyNet have decided is a reasonable number for that map. In this case, it is 6 waves, which means this is our last one. This is like the 3rd map in the game, so it is still pretty straightforward. It is the 2nd, I believe, in the game on normal, or any of the other difficulties, I should say, to actually feature ogres. The last one was the first one that had, but it only had 1. It was very weak. It can't always come up the same. Actually, it didn't come up the same. That was weird about it. But yeah, there are technically 5 classes, or there's 9 classes out right now. 8 of which are basic. 4 of which are the base classes, which we've seen since the release, which is Squire, Adept, Squire, Apprentice, Huntress, and the Monk. Those are the first 4 that were released. Then TrendyNet released premium DLC, aka it always costs money, as opposed to the holiday ones, which are seasonally free. The first and it released basically gender swapped versions of the classes. And aside from that, they're really not all that much different between them. Did any mythics drop here? Mythics would be dropped by the ogre, if anybody, but I'm not seeing any. Lame. So this is just a little victory screen. You can see how many enemies spawned, how many you kill, how many were killed, how many each person killed. Oh, it won't show me now. How long you took. That took a total of 16 minutes, so I know that's gonna be it for this video. And then the option to go to the next level. I'm actually not gonna do the next level because the next level is annoying. I do not like it. That on Nightmare. So with that for now, guys, I will take my leave, and we will do at least one more Dungeon Defenders video. If this video gets a lot of views, or if you guys really like it, and let me know so in the comments, or by liking the video, then I will know. Maybe we should do more of this, and that's why I keep doing Diablo stuff. And like I said, I do plan on doing that when the game comes out. That's gonna be awesome. So until next time, guys, this is Roger Death signing off. If I can, because